If you're not a Louisiana local and you're wondering just what it's like around Mardi Gras time down here, stick around because that's exactly what we're talking about in this video, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, I'm Sean Ramos and welcome to the Living in Louisiana channel, where we talk about everything that you need to know when it comes to what it's like moving to and living in Louisiana. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell because I'm putting out new videos just like this one every single week. Yeah, you can go ahead and click it now. And if you didn't know, I am a licensed realtor in the state of Louisiana, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, what I really love is to help you with your real estate needs, and that's why I do this. So that number that's popping up on your screen right now, that's the best way to reach out to me, and I am the guy that replies to every single call, text, or email that comes through. So if you have any specific questions or needs when it comes to making the move to Louisiana, don't hesitate to reach out because I love hearing from you guys. Mardi Gras season is upon us here in Louisiana, and I would venture to say that Mardi Gras is probably the favorite holiday of the year for a lot of people, and that includes Christmas. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, but Louisiana is a state that likes to celebrate. The people here like to have a good time. Now personally, I don't participate in a lot of the Mardi Gras activity these days. I do remember going to all the parades as a kid and having a great time. As a young adult in that partying phase, I did make my way to Bourbon Street multiple times and had a great time. And then as a dad, I would try to take my younger kids to some of the local smaller parades, but they just weren't into it. My kids hated any noise and these parades were loud, so it would just turn into a big cry fest and we'd end up leaving early every time. And these days I'm just more of a homebody. My kids still aren't into it, so we just don't go that often. Boring! But I'm probably the exception and not the rule. Mardi Gras is a way of life to a lot of people here in South Louisiana. And once I knew I was making this video, I got a little curious and I dug into the history of Mardi Gras. And Fat Tuesday meant it was the last day to be fat. It was the last day to enjoy the pleasures of the flesh before Ash Wednesday. And Ash Wednesday is the first day of the 40 days of Lent. So this was the last day to really live it up before you would go on a 40-day cycle of prayer and fasting. Now, March 3rd, 1699, a French-Canadian explorer came upon a plot of land that was about 60 miles south of what's New Orleans now. And March 3rd is Mardi Gras Day in France, so he named this plot of land Point du Mardi Gras. Now, New Orleans was actually established in 1718, and by the 1730s, Mardi Gras was openly celebrated, but it wasn't the parades that we know today. Then in 1857, they had the first Mardi Gras parade. It was the Crew of Comus, and that began the tradition of the parades with floats and the balls that we now know. And when I think of Mardi Gras, I think of music, parades, beads. And by the way, they say that about 25 million pounds of beads are thrown every year just in New Orleans. And I think of Bourbon Street, partying, and king cakes. Now you're gonna find the biggest and most well-known parades in New Orleans, but Baton Rouge also has some really good ones too. But if you wanna keep it smaller and a little more low-key, lots of little towns also have their own parades. Now, I know just in my area alone, Denham Springs, Walker, Gonzales, and Hammond all have parades. And you also have the Crew of Diversion and the Crew of Tick Fall, who hold boat parades on the river. And most of these parades are going to be family friendly, maybe with the exception of the Spanish Town Parade in Baton Rouge. Now, I've never been to the Spanish Town Parade, so I'm not speaking from experience, but I did jump on Facebook just to ask the question, is Spanish Town family friendly? Now, the general consensus that I got was that no, you do not want to take your kids to the Spanish Town Parade, but there were plenty of people that said they've been taking their kids for years and that there is a more family friendly section. So if you're gonna do it, just know that it's possible that your kids may see something that they might not be used to seeing. Now, getting into New Orleans in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street, it's a whole different story. I don't need to ask this one on Facebook. I can tell you right now, you do not want to take your kids to Bourbon Street. I did make the trip with friends multiple times when I was in college, and it's not something that I want to take a girlfriend to or a wife to. We didn't even like to take our friends that were girls with us because it would get pretty rowdy. There's a lot of drinking going on, crowded streets, and we didn't like to take the girls with us because they would just tend to get groped. So ladies, just beware. If you do go to Bourbon Street on those crowded, drunken nights, there is the possibility that some stranger will put their hand on you at some point. Just to be clear, I don't condone this behavior, and you shouldn't touch anybody that you don't know. But But yeah, I've definitely seen some wild things on Bourbon Street, some stories that I definitely won't get into on this channel because I don't even know what YouTube allows and I don't want to get banned. Mardi Gras is one of the things that makes New Orleans such a hot tourist spot. It's estimated that it brings in over 1 million people every year that take to the streets, and that it generates over $1 billion a year, so it's huge for the economy here. But what I would say as far as the parades go, and even Bourbon Street, that is something that's kind of cool to say that you've experienced at least once. And if that sounds like fun to you, you may enjoy living here in South Louisiana. So that number that's popping up on your screen right now, that's how you can reach out to me if you have any questions or needs when it comes to making that move to Louisiana. I'm here to be a resource for you for anything real estate related, so don't hesitate to reach out if I can help you in any way. I absolutely love talking to you guys about this stuff, so just shoot me a call, text, or email anytime. And if you didn't do it earlier, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell because I'm putting out new videos just like this every single week. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.